Well, Tom has a very strange fascination with Charles Bronson. So I think for him to play him, he brings something else than what I'm making a movie about, which actually makes it work. My film is more about the concept of Charlie Bronson, how he transforms himself into what he has become, this kind of mythological media extravaganza. Tom's approach was much more personal because he had spent time with him, visiting him in prison, corresponding with him, basically grew up on him. I didn't know even who he was when I started reading it, and I never met him. I only spoke with him on the phone for about 20 minutes. But Tom had been really, really researching Charles Bronson. So in that way, we kind of helped each other because we brought something different. Me not knowing who he was, I think for me was probably the best thing around, in that I didn't have any judgmental aspects. I didn't have a political agenda. I didn't have a social agenda. I didn't have a cultural agenda. For me, in a way, it was kind of had to recreate the personality in a way, and I used the Bronson character as a kind of Odyssey character. But of course, I had to, being a biopic, I needed to stay within a certain realness of his life, which of course I did. But I think that it helped me not really having an association with him. So I kind of had a more kind of like, I had the liberty to basically do anything because I wasn't restricted. When it came to research, I didn't know quite how to approach it. I did read his biography, and that was really about it. But I kind of very quickly went away, and also from the script that was floating around at that time was more traditional. It was very cliche-ish. It had a lot of like kind of homemade philosophy, which wasn't very interesting. And I felt that there was much more to the Charles Bronson personality than there actually was given in the script. So for me, it was kind of, how can I reinvent this man as a showman, who I really think he is? And he's a great publicist. I can't judge him because I don't really know who he is. Well, I can't really call this a biopic because it's not a chronologically explained film about a person's life. I think the film I made, or at least in a sense that it's more about the concept where one person transforms themselves into something else. Is that a biopic? I'll leave that up to the critics. But personally, I think it's more of a insight to the mind of Charles Bronson. And that's also the reasons why, when I shoot in chronological order, which gives me the possibility to really develop the film as progresses. I reshot a lot of the movie. About 40% of the movie is reshot. When I saw things I didn't like, I went back and did it again. And it was very much an odyssey of exploring into the mind of this person, really getting deep into the emotional side of him. So in a way, I guess it's a biopic, but in a way it's not, because it's more of a character study. Well, I usually find a piece of music that kind of gets me in the right track of mind, and I did listen to an awful lot of the Pet Shop Boys while I was writing it, and I was thinking a lot about American uh, independent films in the 50s, late 40s into the 50s, early 60s, where it was very fragmentic storytelling. It was very almost experimental to its approach in many ways. You mix very many different layers of storytelling. There is the real world. There's the world that Charlie wants us to see him in. There's I guess, the Charlie deep down who kind of narrates, and then there's the Charlie on stage who kind of is really what he's looking for. He's an artist looking for his stage. So there were many that aspects of the film. I think a movie like Scorpion Rising was definitely something that I was very conscious of when I was making it, together with, a film like Clockwork Orange, which is also about a kind of taking a very controversial subject and humanizing it.